So today in the Olympic National Park, I'm going to be hiking out to the Humes Ranch Trail, and a few years ago the main road actually washed out to the trail, so you have to hike out to the trailhead. But the nice thing is it is a federal park, and normally you would have to pay to get in, but because you have to hike out to the trail, they no longer charge you, which frankly I'm kind of okay with. Free 99 is one of my favorite prices, so we're gonna figure it out.
Good morning.
So we just spoke to a couple of nice rangers who let me know that they've put in some temporary bridges, so all you have to do is follow the road. But it makes the whole trip about 13 miles round trip, but I knew it was going to be at least 12, so that's why we're out so early in the morning. But look, it's so pretty. We found the first temporary bridge, and I didn't think it looked that temporary until we started walking on it. And now I can see it is temporary because the Elwha River flooded a few years ago and totally washed the road out. So the only way to get there now is to walk. So we've made it to the road where we're going to the trailhead, but it's really interesting. There's like a ranger's house and like a pen for horses and stuff, because they have pack mules and everything. People come out here and camp, so I know the rangers have to be here 24/7 because people will backpack out here and camp. So it's just interesting because out here it's almost feeling abandoned because nobody wants to walk this far just to go on the hike. So we saw a couple of backpackers coming back after camping here last night, but the rangers were supremely surprised that we were willing to just take a 13-mile hike, and I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do today. So this is super cool. We are walking the road, and there's a canyon viewpoint, and so we came out to look at it, and it's one of the old Elwha dams that they broke down because it was messing with the salmon runs. The Elwha Dam used to provide power for the area, and it wasn't providing as much power anymore, so they blew the dams out. The Elwha River is now back to its original running course that it was doing over 100 years ago, and the spawning salmon have returned, which is a really cool thing, but I had no idea this used to be the Elwha Dam. It's very cool. Well, we made it the 5 miles up the road, plus the 3 miles to get to the road, to find out that the Humes Ranch Trail that we're going to take is only 2.3 miles. So I think we'll be there and back again pretty quickly. We just stopped to kind of refuel for a minute, eating some biscuits that Adam made that are very tasty, by the way. Some peanut butter, some celery, and some water. And we're going to go on our short little hike of two miles. So there's a section back there that when I was little and I hiked this with my mom, it was completely burned out. There was a forest fire and it burned a bunch of it. And now it's all regrown, and it's really cool to see all the stuff that has grown up from, you know, where there was a lot of death and destruction, and now there's life and regrowth, and it's pretty cool. So this first cabin is called Michael's Cabin, and it was built in honor of Cougar Mike, who used to maintain the trails and the phone lines out here, and he used to hunt cougars. It actually was erected in 1937. That's right, I said erected. So it really isn't like a settler's cabin, but it's to mark some of the original settlers that were in the Olympic National Park. Probably, like the other ones did. So we found an interesting scenario. The sign that tells us which way to go is gone. So, should we take the high road or should we take the low road? Okay, we're taking the low road. So we changed our minds pretty quickly, and we're gonna take the high road because we realized how deep it was going, and I realized I think that's the way that connects the back of the meadow to the trail. So we're on the high road. So we found the meadow. It's down there. We should have taken the low road. You were right the first time.
Live and learn. That's okay. Found this cool area over here.
That one. All right, well, I don't feel like going 11 miles to Dodger Point, so.
No sweat. Let's turn back.
Okay. So we were literally almost there. Like, it was in sight. And then a baby bear walked across the trail and started following us, so we had to turn around and go back. It was a black bear. Never seen a bear in the wild before. That was new. We're making sure it's not following us anymore, because if there's a baby, where's the mama? So that is one thing. If you're hiking in the Olympic National Park, you do have to be well aware of the wildlife. I'm so bummed after all that.
So close.
There was a bear, which was cool. I've never seen a bear in the wild before, but. So there was this muddy spot that we had to walk across. And we found some rocks to help us. But now Adam found a plank. So we're gonna use that to cross the mud, because it was like super squishy mud. Kind of mud that you don't usually just sort of go, eh. Well, that makes things easier. Well, that was disappointing and exciting all at the same time. It's funny because we were just talking about on the way out here how neither of us have ever seen a bear in the wild, and there was a warning about an increase in bear sightings, and we were just seconds away. I mean, like a 30-second walk to the cabin. And this little bear cub walked out to the end of the trail and looked up and saw us and started walking towards us. So we just like had to back off and walk away. Because yeah, where there's baby, there's mama. But it's funny because we were just talking about how neither one of us have ever seen a bear in the wild before. Yeah, and had we not gone the wrong way the first time, we wouldn't have known, you know, we would have been in the cabin when the bears walked by, and we would have been pretty stuck. So it was a good thing that we ended up going the wrong way to begin with. But man, that was a new experience. So at this point, we have officially gone 22.6 miles for the day. We are still not done. We are almost there. I think it's gonna call for some drinks after this. My feet hurt, my legs are tired, but I feel accomplished. What about you?
Very much.
Yeah. Even though we didn't get to see the second ranch house because we decided after running away from the bear.
We didn't run, we walked.
Okay, we walked swiftly. That maybe we were done for the day and we should head back because we'd already gone a large amount of miles at that point. So, yeah, we
Very
are
wise decision.
20, yeah, see, you can see, 22.61 miles. Oh, 6.7, it went up. So that's where we're gonna, oh, I can see, is that the end?
That's the ranch. The horses.
You can see the end.
Right now.
The end is in sight. It's right there. I can see it. And oh, look, there's hikers and stuff. There were actually, I mean, there weren't a lot of people out there. We ran into, there was a couple from France that we saw. They were going to Lake something. It wasn't Lake Quinault. I don't remember where it was. But they were taking a different trail to go camping. And then there were 2 sets of backpackers we saw coming back. And then we ran into a group of Boy Scouts. And they had just come off the Humes Ranch Trail when we started it. And we've caught up to them. We've passed half of them. And the other half is who I just zoomed in on. So I think we're making pretty good time. It's 5:06. And we started about 8, 9. Well, I think we started the trail about 9:30. So it's been a day of walking.
It's been an awesome day.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel it tomorrow though, in a good way. I'm gonna feel accomplished. I won't be able to move, but I'm gonna feel accomplished. So, drinks?
Yes.